This podcast is free. Sit back and relax. This podcast is free. I ain't paying for that. This podcast is free. It's Derek and Steven picking topics out of a hat. I ain't paying for that. And now your hosts, Derek and Steven.
Hey.
Hey.
We're here again.
I did it right.
Did we get it right?
I think I did.
You sure?
Screw it.
I don't know if we did or not.
I think I did it right.
I gotta
And make sure we are live. We are live.
Oh, we are live.
Yes.
We made it happen.
All right. We're back. We had a week.
We're
What
back.
does the football people call it? We had a bye week.
Oh,
And,
I guess we did.
Derek went jet setting. He's back now.
I went to say to how you say America, Italy.
Scusi. And now he's back. He made it back.
Grazie.
He was like one of those people that fled the country when the election happened.
Well, you know.
We
Gotta
didn't know
do
if
what
he
you
was
gotta
gonna
do.
didn't know if he's gonna make it back in time. Did y'all even bother with voting?
Huh? The early jargon stuff.
Oh,
or
you did
whatever.
early?
Yeah.
Well, there you go. That's what it's for.
Yeah.
Like,
Mhm.
literally, that's what it's actually for. Like, oh, we're going
Yeah.
on a trip. We're going to be out of the country. It's like, hey,
Right.
yeah, go ahead. That's what you're supposed to be doing.
I mean,
so,
we
yeah.
probably had enough time to go in the morning, but it's like, who wants to deal with that on the day you're traveling? You know.
You're supposed to be excited you're going on travel.
Yeah.
Going on a trip.
I know. I had to wait in line in New Orleans as security enough anyway, so
I feel like I can't remember if it was New Orleans. I'm pretty sure it was. I want to say for the honeymoon. When we flew, it was really early in the morning. And because it was so early and really busy, they just had the dogs out.
Oh,
And
really?
you just walk, and they just...
Let the dogs do their thing?
Yeah, just do, and I think I even heard him say that. He's like, yeah, early in the morning, first run, they're just like, it's so busy, just it's easier to put the dogs out.
It got pretty busy. Like, it was a pretty long line. Like, the line goes this way and then that way and this way and that way and that way. And then you get to the branch off to the security thing. And it was getting longer the more we stood there.
It's
it
a
was
pain in the
just,
butt. We've been lucky most of the time.
And getting in Italy, security in and out wasn't a big deal at all. Like, you scan your boarding pass, scan your passport, and the camera looks at you, and off you go.
Oh, well.
And there was a security line, like you take off all your metal stuff and you walk through, but I didn't have to take off my shoes and just jumped on the thing. And
I'm pretty sure
quick.
we're the shoe people. We're the only ones that do the shoe.
Oh, really?
thing. Because of that guy 20 years ago.
I don't
That's
even
why
remember that.
I think it was literally called. I can't say it.
Shoot.
The shoe.
Can we spell it?
Yeah, BOMB.
Okay, yeah, that's what I figured.
But because of that,
Well, we can't say that either.
I don't think you can.
Really?
Yeah,
Wow.
it's so
What happened to
weird
free
with.
speech?
It's not that. It's because of the advertising.
Oh,
So
okay.
Them want
Gotta
because
keep it
even
clean.
though we're not monetized yet, they're still running ads against this. It's not no ads because we're not monetized. There's still whoever would watch would still get. There's it's probably you and her.
Yeah.
She
think so.
probably got an ad on the TV watching it there. What am I
Okay.
hearing? Is that muted?
No, yeah, it should be muted, I think. Well, it's coming. It would be coming through somewhere.
I feel like I hear it somewhere.
Oh, you probably hear it in the TV out there.
Oh, okay.
Rachel, please just turn it down. Turn the volume down, okay?
But yeah, they run
Or
ads
put it on the
against us
iPad.
either way. So then it's gotten so weird. There's a big
Yeah.
scandal right now on Twitch. Twitch is having their adpocalypse right now, which happened to YouTube like 6 or 7 years ago. Some bad stuff went down, and like the big advertisers just started saying, "We're not buying airtime anymore."
That's
And
crazy.
Now it's
I mean,
happening.
I get
on
it, but
Twitch.
it's crazy weird.
Well,
that
it's
stuff
once
works.
you monetize something,
Yeah,
then it matters.
I get it.
Back in the OG, I really wish we would have gotten to participate in the OG days of YouTube or 2010, because there were literally no rules,
Right.
and that's where you get all the names that you think of now. Joe Rogan, all the big.
Yeah, they're all grandfathered in.
Well, yeah, and kind of, and like some of them, like who I didn't realize is really big on YouTube. Rachel, if I'm wrong, please correct me in chat. Is Kurt Loder from MTV?
God, I know that name.
I think
but
it's
can't
Kurt
put it-
Loder. If it's the other guy, there's another name I'm thinking of. If it is, it's Rachel will Rachel will tell me she likes his videos. We've watched a couple of them. It's either Kurt Loder or one of the news guys.
That guy?
No, not him.
Yep. No,
then
it's
I'm
not
wrong.
that
It's
guy.
another guy, and Rachel will probably.
He's 79.
Rachel will probably.
He's still around. Yeah, I do remember him in that picture.
I remember. I love MTV News.
That's funny. Hey, do we have it on there?
What is that? Are you having a stroke, Rachel? A minor? Is that what that says?
Oh,
In chat?
I gotta go back to it.
Oh, Adam. Adam, what? Help us out, chat. Come on.
Adam. Yeah, that narrows it down.
Adam. Come on, Rachel. Come on, chat. I'm sorry, chat. I get to do this finally. Come on, chat. Work with me here.
Right.
Well, anyway, he was one of the OG guys with Kurt Loder from the MTV News.
Yeah.
And he transitioned.
Daily? What's it? Something Daily?
No, not that's way late. Carson Daly was
Oh,
like
okay,
literally
Carson
2005. I'm talking about.
What?
I'm
No,
talking
he
about
was in the
90s.
90s. He wasn't?
That's
Oh,
piece
I'm trying-
2000 and on. Oh my! Hey! Hold on, chat.
Yeah, you know.
You are embarrassing me in front of the internet.
Yeah, sorry about the cough. A little, you're on a bus with a whole bunch of people on a plane. You get bound to catch something. So it's just is what it is. Gotta do what we gotta do. Adam Curry.
We'll get to that. Yeah, he was right there
Curry.
with Kurt Loder.
I gotta look him
And
up.
he transitioned to YouTube and did really well, but in the early on days. And I think when it kind of got
So stupid.
when it kind of got to the point where it kind of is the way it is now with the ads, I think even he kind of backed off. And a lot of those OG YouTubers have backed off because of the new model shorts and the algorithm and the ads and all of that stuff. You're
Adam Curry.
that's I guess that's an old photo. He's good to listen to. He knows a lot. He's really I hate to compare him to Joe Rogan because really Joe Rogan's not the best info topic, but he knows a lot like Joe Rogan, like a lot of different things.
Oh, you could get me caught up on some stuff. What happened with this Mike Tyson business stuff that was going on? I mean, I know it. All the boxing matches for the past like 10 years have been nothing but hype it up, hype it up, hype it up. Everybody watch it, and they make a bunch of money, and then it's over with. That's what I figured it probably was, just something kind of like that. So I was kind of wondering what happened with the Jake Paul, Mike Tyson.
We were at what gig were we at when that happened? And I was asking. Oh, we were at the Nugget, and I was even asking. I was like, "So who?" So I was just dead sure it was going to be Mike Tyson, because like physically, even though he's like 69, it's like
No, I think it's 58.
Really, that's it. Either way,
All right. Well, hey,
either
you
way,
talk. I'll look it
as
up.
old as he is, he's still he's Mike Tyson. I mean,
Right.
he's like the most dangerous person I can think of as far as boxing is concerned.
Right. No,
not
I'm with you.
not the greatest boxer.
58 years old,
The
born in
the most
1966.
dangerous person, like
Mm-hmm.
but you remember back in the day that dude, like we were always everybody. I feel like always kind of scared he was gonna hurt whoever he was fighting.
Right. Yeah.
Like
Only bit Vander.
well, but
Holyfield's
no, but I mean
ear off,
like
Yeah,
hitting so hard
taking a
that
punch from him. Yeah.
it's like So I was shocked when Logan Paul won. No.
Oh, so he won.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
In decision by punch count.
How many rounds did they go?
Full 8. They went to full 8.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they went to full 8 rounds. Now, that being set aside, yeah, okay, so he won. I get it. It's entertainment. It's
Yeah, it was a
he is a
money-making
spectacle
scheme.
at this point. He's basically, Britney Spears, but a
Yeah,
dude.
all I saw was like Jake Paul got 40 million, Mike Tyson got
Got
20
20,
million,
yeah.
and that
And
was
then
it.
what-
Why
so-
did Jake Paul get 40?
Because I think
Because he won or something?
yeah, well, because he's on the up track and he's the one that's making all these fights happen. Nobody wants to box Mike Tyson, but everybody
yeah,
wants to
yeah.
watch Jake
Who would do
Paul
that?
possibly get or Logan Paul, whichever one it is.
I mean, I kind of figured it out from some of just the memes I saw. Like Jake Paul's next guy was, it was. I don't remember who it was in the meme, but
Somebody
it was like
retired.
It was like somebody in a wheelchair,
Yeah.
or something like that.
Yeah,
you
no,
know?
and that's
It
the one
was-
thing I heard the big call was, why don't you fight somebody at your weight that's your age? That's
Yeah.
like a real, not retired,
Yeah.
not, You know, like the one that you're hearing buzz now about is Conor McGregor. So Jake Paul versus Conor McGregor. Now they're not even in the same weight class. Jake's got to lose a bunch of weight to cut down to get in the weight class. And then in that last fight, Conor McGregor like really messed up his leg. So he's not Conor McGregor anymore.
Right.
The Conor McGregor that everybody's thinking of.
It's like him trying to challenge Joe Rogan, you know.
Yeah. It's like, come on, it's not. You got to find somebody now, and that would legitimize him.
Yeah.
But let's be honest, it's entertainment. Did you not think it was rigged? There were like several states that weren't allowing betting on that fight.
Oh,
because
really?
They were just like it's a Netflix promo fight.
Yeah.
Like
I saw a bunch of posts. Again, all this is after the fact. You know, me catching up on what was going on in the world, and it was. Like something happened with the Netflix stream and it was buffering or something, and like people couldn't watch it. Or
well, the one I liked and I think is the most plausible is there was one point during that fight where they were going at it, and like it's like Mike was told, and probably is now old enough and smart enough to listen, to go like, "Hey man, just sit in third gear the whole time. Don't ever downshift. Don't ever look like you know. We need you to be Mike Tyson." But please, God, don't ever shift into second or first gear, you know, because like he can't. In my opinion,
Yeah.
a little bit that I know, just looking at it as a dude, I don't think he could handle Mike's first or second gear. So it felt like
That's crazy.
They were having an exchange,
I'm gonna
and
have
it
to watch,
felt
like,
like Mike
highlights or
slipped
something.
accidentally into like second, possibly first gear, because his hands kind of picked up speed like drastically, like it noticeably in the middle of the fight. And then you saw Jake Paul, like, look at me, like you saw him, which he had not done the whole fight, like literally go and like pull back because he knew like, oh shit, Mike was like reaching for a second. If Mike actually hits me, we're gonna have a problem. So it seemed like it was like choreographed. Like Mike
it could have been.
you know, and there's all those rabbit holes which you can go down. I mean, you know.
Yeah, well, I'm just looking on, you know, Google Mike Tyson, and like the New York Post, and I don't even know who these. I don't keep up with any of this. Netflix executive makes admission after Jake Paul Mike Tyson streaming debacle. I don't know what the debacle was, but
Probably
maybe the whole thing.
issue. Well, but also that was their
They had
first.
technical
That
issues,
was their
right?
first live event that they had done.
Oh,
So I
okay.
mean, come on, you got to give them some kind of leeway. You know.
I don't know. You're a big company.
Well,
making
but
that kind
come
of money.
on,
You
even-
hire the
I
right
mean,
people to get the job done.
But I would say the first one, like you don't know how it exactly is going to work, and
You need to know that 100 million people are going to watch this. You need to be able to stream
I would
that.
give anybody the first one, anybody.
Well,
But now,
you're a very nice,
now after
nice
this,
person.
I would say y'all have any problems? It's like, well, who was paying for? Because
That's
that was
funny.
you said. He made 40, Mike made 20. Well, I mean, they're not in this for their health or fun. How much do you think Netflix made? 3,
And
4.
did they charge for that, or you just had to have Netflix to watch it?
As far as I am concerned, you just had to have a Netflix account.
Huh.
So I don't.
So maybe there's, you know, was 50 million people that didn't have a Netflix account made one for that fight.
I guess, or
signed up for
I
the
really
10
don't.
or
I really
$15
don't know.
whatever.
But you know, they're not.
But if it's $10, I don't even know what Netflix is because I don't have Netflix.
Netflix is now without ads. I want to say is $16.
Oh, so 16. Yeah, if you got 10 million people sign up at $16, that's a
Yeah.
chunk of change.
So I mean, you know, they're not doing this for a favor. So you know they had to.
Now I
make-
gotta figure out what that is. What is 16 times? I'm trying to make this show interesting, Steven. It's okay. 16 times. Let's see, what? 10 million.
It's all right. We don't have to. We're not interesting. We're just.
That's
two-
160 million. So that 60 million covers your fighters.
Yeah,
You
and,
know,
well,
and their
that
fees.
probably covers all production costs because you know they had to spend. Because this is the first time they've ever done it.
Right.
Again, they had to
They still
a
make money, I
venue
guarantee it.
and then all the broadcasting equipment,
Yeah.
which is different from what they normally would. You know.
Right.
So
No, I get it.
But then you talk about advertisers and all the bullshit, and you know now
Oh,
now
yeah.
everybody
Yeah,
knows.
you're right.
Also,
Got
now
sponsors
everybody
and all that
knows you
stuff.
can go on Netflix and watch a live event. Now we can get into concerts. Now we can get. I mean, God, you can do anything now and charge
Yeah.
for it if you wanted to.
Right.
So they're and they're all kind of pissing me off because now it's all everything's on the ad model. stupid Prime, which granted is free, but still Prime isn't
I
free.
pay for it because I pay for Prime. It just
Yeah.
comes with it.
Ads.
Now you got to pay an additional like
Lots
$4 to get no ads. Right?
Lots of ads.
Yeah.
The second most ads is
I'm not
Netflix.
happy about that either.
Yeah. Granted, Netflix, I opted. They give you the choice. They're like, I had the old $8.99 plan.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, if you want to stay here, you just have ads. And if you want to upgrade, I just never upgraded.
Right.
And I've watched the ads. It's way less, and then like spaced out a good chunk, into the movie. Tubi and all that, I get it because those are free. So whatever. But like Amazon's like they will run 2.5, 2 3/4 minute worth of ads.
Right.
And like the
See,
last,
I'm not down with that.
and the last one's like that minute long, the full unedited drug commercial. Like not the one that you see on NBC or the one you see on TBS late at night.
Mhm.
The full like with everything. And you're like literally like I'm like on my phone. Like I'll find shit to do in the room because I know I've got 3 minutes of like
That's
bullshit
funny.
just to watch.
That's funny.
The Ghostbusters 2 for the 400th time. Come on.
I love that movie. Vigo. Come on, that's a great movie.
I just watched it recently. It's one of those movies that kind of works its way into my head as we get closer to the holidays because it does happen at Christmas. So any of those start kind of creeping.
Yeah, we'll probably start watching the Die Hards here probably this
Die
week,
Hard,
next week.
Planes, Trains, and Automobiles.
I do not usually watch that one for Christmas.
That's a good.
What
that's a
I
Thanksgiving.
just finished up. I usually start around Halloween. I'll watch all the Harry Potters.
That's what she's about to get put through that. I think for
And
the first time.
it's like once a year. I just watch the Harry Potters. And I don't know why. I just watch the Harry Potters.
It's something
That's all
about
I-
Christmas. I don't know.
My sister watches them for Christmas. I watch them for Halloween.
I watch them for Christmas.
Do you?
I'm about to put her through it, and she's like, "That's cool."
Yeah,
I get it. I'm not really even into that. It's
I'm not a
weird.
big Harry Potter
I'm
fan.
not
but
either.
I
I've never
lo-
read the books. I've only ever
No, me
seen the
either.
movies, but I
Yep.
watch them at Christmas.
Yeah, I'm the same way. It's not a bad storyline. Although I like the people on the internet that do the look at me, I sound like an old timer. The people on the internet, the interweb. Yeah, I know it's so stupid. They do a cut up thing where they compare Harry Potter to Star Wars. And it's the same plot. And when they break it down the way that they do, it technically is the same plot. It's kind of funny.
Well, a lot of them are. Most
Yeah.
of those movies, it's like plot wise. There's like 12 or 15 movies. I've seen the thing where it talks about. They're all Dances with Wolves.
I don't even remember.
You're in
I
this
remember
camp.
Dances with Wolves, but I
I'm
don't
in this
remember.
camp. Something happens. I'm hurt, and I end up in your camp, and I become your camp, and then I have to help protect your camp against my old camp, which is Avatar. Which I mean, it's like you can go down all these movies, and it's like, oh, we're doing the Dances with Wolves things, huh? Okay, that's why I don't like Avatar at all.
Yeah, I did.
Because it's
I
like
didn't
all I
like
can
it.
think is like,
There's
see,
so
you're
many things
Kevin
you could've done
Costner,
with that.
and
Because it's also too, they always do the same military guy the same way.
yeah,
You know what I
But,
mean? And that movie was the worst for that.
yeah. I think that's definitely the back end. of,
Maybe we should just make this podcast as free about movie critic things.
I think it should just be about rating stuff.
Okay, well, we can do
There's
that.
one called It's a Southern Thing, and there's a guy that broke
It's a
off of It's a Southern Thing called Matt. His name is Matt something, and they rank shit all the time, and I heavily disagree with the findings of all these rankings, and I want to do them myself.
Oh wow,
Like he did biscuits from all the fast food places, fries, the top requested Taco Bell items, fried chicken.
that's interesting.
Yeah, and I'm sorry, now I also want to do that because I might be proven wrong. I might be like, oh, he was right. Church's is the best fried chicken. Or
Well, we're not going to Taco Bell tonight after that past experience.
No,
That was
we can't.
horrible.
Well,
Whatever the
and
hell happened there.
I have video.
Oh, and I can tell you, British Airways was much better than United Airlines. United, that plane that we got was kind of old, and the seats were janky, and it was very uncomfortable. British Airways, at least the seats were semi-comfortable. I'm in coach in the back in economy, not economy plus or economy plus or business travel plus.
Yeah, just
First class, and you get your little pod that you get to just snuggle up and sleep in.
leave
They
me
even
alone,
had
you
like when I was
poor.
walking out, they had some kind of little video game controller. So I guess they had video games you could play with a controller. And I'm just like, these.
Did you
the
feel
hell?
at all when you were there like you were looked down upon because you were a blue jean wearing American?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I wanna. It's like so delicious. I wanna dip my feet into it. The hatred and anger. It just
But you know what's funny? It just depends on the area you're in. Like this one guy we went to, the hotel food was so bad we decided we ate some of it, but then we were like, no, let's just go get a pizza. And we walked like almost vertically up this really steep hill, this road in this whatever town we were in. I can't even remember now. And it was it had good Google reviews and all this stuff, and it looked pretty packed. And there was actually some Americans walking out when we were walking in, and they were saying, "Oh, the place was great." And I was like, "Oh, cool." He's like, "Yeah, but I think it's gonna be a little bit of a wait because we called in like right before the rush hour because everybody over there eats at like 8, 9 o'clock.
Yeah,
it's like dinner time
because they ate again at like 3.
Yeah, or whatever.
Yeah,
I don't know. They're late. They're late eaters.
Yeah.
Which that was tough for us because I like to eat at around 5, 6 o'clock at the latest.
Yeah,
you know?
we're old people like that.
So we go in and like nobody like says hello. Nobody says like, hey, how you doing? Can I help you? And we go stand up by whatever the little look like a bar.
Yeah.
And this dude comes out and he's like looking like, can I help you? And I'm just kind of like, yeah, we would like to get a pizza. And he's just like starts shouting at us. He's just like. Food 1 hour, 1 hour food, and I'm just like, can we get it to go? And then like not sit down, and then can we get it to go? Like infuriated him because I didn't understand what he was saying. I thought he said full for 1 hour. And he said was saying food 1 hour, no matter what you do.
Yeah,
it's 1 hour before I give you a pizza.
Yeah,
and I'm kind of like I'm looking around. I'm like, y'all are busy, but you're not that busy for an hour. I'm like. Brother, Brooklyn's Pizza down the road is slinging out some pies. I'm like, I don't know what you're doing back there. If you're like, I did learn about that though. That was the signals and all that kind of stuff. If the guy was correct, what he told us.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he was one of the tour guides, and I asked.
So what is?
This is more of it's a question.
Oh.
Like what are you talking about?
Who you fucking you fucking talking to me?
Yeah, there's like that kind of a thing. Then there's that is amazing, great, perfecto, whatever. Then there was you're a moron. Just a little twist. You're an idiot.
Oh, I like that.
What's the? No, when that. Then there was you do the same thing, twisty thing, but you put it down by your waist.
Oh.
And that means I don't care.
Oh.
And then both hands doing that is I really don't care.
Rachel.
And what's funny is, so we're on this bus and this guy's telling us all this stuff, and the bus driver Augustino, who's been driving a bus for 30 years, and now we were on the Amalfi Coast, so it's cliff water, and then really tight, small winding little roads. Yeah, it was kind of crazy. And this dude's like, he's banking this bus like I'm like, we sat up front too because Heather was like, she knew the Amalfi Coast. If we got on a bus, she's like, I have to sit up front. If not, if I sit in the back, I'm gonna puke everywhere.
Yeah,
and so the guys up front, we get like, don't even get started, and there's like a traffic jam. And the bus driver, like, you see, he gets pissed off. He slams it in park, opens his door, and he goes out down the street. And like, we're getting a show. I'm like, the bus driver just left 20 people. There was 2 buses. And he's going down there, and he's waving his arms. Oh, blah, 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 you know, whatever he's saying. And then, and I'm like, our tour guide is like, well, I guess you get the show today.
Welcome to Italia, everybody.
Right? You know, but it was like 2 trucks couldn't squeeze between this small road, and he went to go help him to say that, yeah, you can squeeze through and all this kind of stuff. So while we're waiting on him to get back, and I was like, man, what's the deal with the hands while you're talking? And like for the next, I opened a can of worms because like the next 30 minutes, you know, he's standing up, and he's telling us these signals and all this kind. This was he said this was because he's, I guess, was from Sorrento, Naples area.
Yeah.
He's like, this is the sign language for Naples.
Oh. And I'm like, sure very
it
regional.
Probably varies from town to town.
Yeah,
I'm sure.
But that's cool. I never knew.
But I was going to tell you, so the bus behind us that had the other folks with us, had a young bus driver that Augustino, I guess, had trained him or whatever. Yeah. And there's a part where we get stuck again in these traffic, and they have to back cars up or whatever, and it's going on. So the young guy hops out this time, and he goes, and he's directing, and you see the Augustino guy on our bus, and he's like, blah, 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 and he's like fussing at the kid, and the kid walks up and does the 2 hands Like
Oh.
to him, he's like, you know, whatever. It was kind of funny. So we got the sign language in action right after
That's
we got
awesome.
the definition of it. You know, so it was kind of cool. That was a fun day. Vincenzo was our tour guide, so he was kind of cool.
But you said you wouldn't do the group tour thing again.
No, I mean I'm glad we did it, but it wasn't. I would rather just book it myself and go, because I was real timid. I'm like, you go, it's another country. I don't know how to book this and where we go, and so everything was pre-planned. But once we got over there, I mean, Google Translate and everybody spoke some kind of English.
Yeah.
Even the taxi driver that spoke like 5 words, he knew no, yes, and
food.
You know, he knew some stuff, and we did Google Translate.
Donald Trump.
He actually asked me about that. in the
Donald
cab.
Trump.
Yeah, he's like, bang, bang, bang. No more, right?
Oh my goodness.
He was like, he just wanted the war to end. He was like, he's like, war stopped, right?
Man.
I was like, yeah, I hope so.
And what a damn lead up, you know, like they definitely made this one interesting. I'll give them that. If there is a group of guys in the back making sure that all that is entertaining, they made sure we had shootings, we had controversy, we had trials, we had hookers, we had race, we had everything just culminating in like. And one guy kept, and you know what? I actually, because I'm normally pessimistic about it, one guy kept saying it, and I was like, he's right. He's like, watch, 3 o'clock in the morning, you're gonna have your answer. He said, not the next morning, not like normal, not like the Bush Gore thing where it weeks. He's like, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock in the morning. And so I was playing. You left. You had said something. You jackass put the bug in my ear, so I upgraded to Game Pass. So I didn't have to buy the game. So I got Call of Duty. I'm just like, well, I
bought the damn game. I hadn't even played it once.
I could sit here till 3 o'clock and play this. And sure enough, it was like 3:30, 3:45. They were like, oh, this is it. They're like, it's done. They had called. I mean, they hadn't called, obviously, like New Mexico, and I don't even know if they had called They had called Georgia, and that was kind of a big one, like as far as the like which way it was going to lean.
Yeah.
And by 3, I was like, oh, this is it. This is over. And I like could go to sleep full, and I was like, I don't have to stay up. I'm not like, I didn't feel like it was going to shift. And sure enough, it just got even worse because you had heard what I said to lead up. I didn't think it was going to be that bad. I thought it was going to be a close one, and I didn't think the right was going to win. But man, I mean,
that's crazy. I'm kind of happy we weren't around because we were so tired on the bus ride. People were trying to figure out what was going on, but he looked like he was in the lead.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, cool. Just whatever. I'll deal with that when I get back. Is kind of how I felt about it. You know, whatever happens,
change
happens.
anything.
There's nothing I can do about it.
Well, that's the point, I think, of all the screaming and the yelling and the not screaming and the not yelling. It's like, but tomorrow was still tomorrow.
You know, that was something about being in Italy is like they fuss at each other, and it was kind of cool. Like, and then as soon as they walk away, grazie.
Yeah,
and it's like they get it out and move on.
Like almost the New Yorker thing. Like,
bit, yeah,
fuck you. And
yeah,
then you want to get a slice?
Yeah,
you know, like but we have the more of like uber polite. But inside, we're like, oh, I hope you burn in hell.
Right,
the hot fires of Diablo. Like, bless your heart.
I know. Instead of just calling somebody an asshole for being an asshole and getting over it, you know, it's like, why you gotta be an asshole? And then, but most people don't even know that they're being an asshole. That's the
true.
So it's what do you do?
I have that problem. I'm sure. There was a guy caught me. While we were in Lake Charles playing over the weekend. We went to Lake Charles Music. And they have cool used stuff a lot. So they had like a bass, like a Fender.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what it was, but it wasn't like a jazz bass or a Precision, but it was just a Fender bass from like the 90s. Huh. And I was like, oh, that's cool. That's like my era. And same thing, he had another used Telly from the 90s. And I was like, oh, this is cool. Like, this is like, I feel like I'm holding my childhood or something.
Right.
And all I kept thinking was like, this guy has to be the worst salesman in history, because he then proceeded to talk to me because I showed interest in these two pieces for like 30 minutes, and he wouldn't shut the fuck up. About the bass or the guitar? No, about his guitar.
Oh,
and I would like get up and literally like put the other bass down, pick up a new bass, tune it, mess with the volume, start playing them like, yeah.
He's still just talking to you.
Yeah. Another bass. I did it like 3 times, and finally, and Rachel's like, I can't believe you just I just got up and walked away from him because I was like, you're just gonna just talk. And I kind of did like the whole heat-seeking missile trick. I walked over to where Dakota and Elena were playing piano, and I like came in, here's your target, and I made a sharp turn and just let the missile keep going, and he got them for like 12 minutes. And I went right back over there and grabbed that bass. I was like, okay, here we go. I've got like a very small bit of time here.
Check out this instrument. Oh my God! Yeah, no.
I think it was because I was the oldest person in the room. That's why he latched on to me.
Oh,
he
God.
thought he could talk to me. I just want to be like, dude.
Hey, there's no guy I can talk to. It's like sitting on a park bench.
And he wouldn't shut up about this limited edition Squire that he swears. I was just like, about the 8th time I'd be going, that's cool. Really happy for you. It's like, are you going to try to sell me something, or are you going to tell me about some telly you still own 50 years later?
That I'm not buying right now.
Yeah, it's not for sale. I'm pretty sure the music store would rather you sell me this $139 used telly than tell me about, it was like, oh my God.
Those are terrible. I remember those.
I'm bad. I can't be around people anymore.
I feel you. That was kind of cool. There was a town in Italy we were in, and it was like a Sunday, so everybody was like, they weren't dressed up, but everybody was dressed nice.
Yeah.
And there was a lot of old people, and there was young people, and even little kids, and everybody's walking the street, and we found this section where like all the old guys were hanging out. It's like middle of town.
Were they doing that thing with the ball?
No, they were just smoking and talking, and there was no phones.
A lot of smokers?
A lot of cigarettes. A lot of cigarettes everywhere. Good gracious. I was like, Lord, I went back to the 80s when here.
That's hilarious.
A lot of cigarettes.
That's hilarious. That's because now it's almost become such a faux pas here. Even when it's allowed, it's like, oh, but you're smoking.
Yeah.
And
like on the plane ride from Rome to London to come back, the dude the pilot on the intercom, or the flight attendant, whatever they're called these days, was like, just a reminder, there's no smoking on this flight, and there is a smoke detector in the lavatory. He said that like 8 times.
Yeah.
Because apparently, like, I guess people just light it up on the plane. And
well, that's bad here in the U.S., but it's with vapes.
Yeah, you can't vape nothing on a plane.
I've heard them on flights we've been on. They're like, we're not playing around. Don't go in the bathroom with a vape because we'll catch you. They have those smoke detectors in there.
We got a water vape detector. Don't even piss too hard because we're going to find it.
And I've seen videos of people getting pulled off of flights because they did the stupidest thing of all. You ruined your flight to vape in the bathroom.
Right.
Like
you can't hold it.
You didn't want to get drunk and assault somebody. You just vaped in the bathroom. Like,
right.
It's such a waste. If you're gonna do it, that's what you did.
I know, right?
My God. But yeah, that's funny to me that they're like, no, we like our cigarettes.
We did have some on the long flight home. I was in the middle. Heather got a window seat, so she was gonna try and sleep. She didn't really sleep much. And we would rotate out. Like we both went up into the bathroom, then I would go sit in the window seat. She'd sit in the middle. And this lady next to me, I'm assuming she's like Scandinavian or something. She didn't really speak English, but I could tell on her screen on her seat that it was definitely a different language.
Yeah.
Some kind of Scandinavian language or something.
Yeah.
Blonde-haired lady, whatever. And she opened up her purse and had like an essential oil or something. It was tea tree oil. Yeah. I don't know if you're familiar with the smell of tea tree oil, but you love it?
Love tea tree.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Like the potent smell of it?
Well, no. Like the white boy American version when some kind of body wash
got
is
like
tea tree flavored.
The oil.
No,
itself.
I don't want a tea tree.
Yeah, she's got tea tree oil, and she like spills it all over her hand, and then she's just like rubbing in like oil. And I mean, the fumes off of this thing, Heather starts like choking this. Yeah, no, she's like coughing. The stewardess runs over, the flight attendant runs over, and she's like, "Ma'am, are you okay? What's wrong?" She was only a couple of seats by. And of course, the Scandinavian lady who just spilt this tea tree oil, and she didn't care. She loved it.
Yeah.
Like, she's got her AirPod Maxes on, so she's not hearing anything. And then Heather's just like, that smell. And then the flight attendant's like, I smell it. And she calls the flight attendant over there. And he's like, oh, yep, I'll smell it. I'll
We
smell
got
it.
some tea
here
tree
somewhere."
right here.
He was like, "Do you have tea tree? Do you have tea tree oil? That's tea tree oil. I can smell it." And he's like looking in the up cupboard and stuff. And I'm looking at him. I'm going, "Psst." I'm like, "It's this lady right here."
I would have paid to have been there for that moment.
Oh yeah. And at that point, I was so pissed. There's a lot of fizzy water in Italy.
Okay.
And I had grabbed a Smart Water in the Heathrow airport. I didn't realize it was a fizzy Smart Water.
Okay.
So, needless to say,
Gross.
on the plane, I was a little gassy. And after that tea tree oil episode, I was like, well, what difference does it make? She's not going to hear it if I fart. And I was just like, I had a couple of moments where I would probably excuse myself and just go to the restroom. And I was just like, the hell with it. I was like, "Brrr." And then Heather, she looks at me. She's like, what are you doing? And I was just like, well, payback's a bitch. I don't know what to tell you. A couple of them were a little frothy. I was just like, ooh. It was kind of funny. So I enjoyed that to give the lady here. You can have some ass
You
smell
represented us well. Good
yes,
job.
for your tea tree oil, lady. Good gracious. It was a little much. It was a little much. I don't care if you really like that smell. You're on a plane, for God's sake.
Yeah, I mean,
Come on.
But also,
And she kept stealing my daggum armrest because I was told, I may have been given wrong information, if you're the person in the middle seat, you get both armrests.
I think that's our rules. I don't think
Okay.
that's the world's rules. I think.
And I
that's
mean,
just us.
she's like leaning on it too. I got caught an elbow on the side a couple of times, and
No, I'm
just
pretty
kinda
sure
like,
those are our rules. Those are not the rules.
Hey, I'm just kind of like, come on, lady, quit touching me, quit poking me in the side with your damn elbow. I'm like, God, give me a break, something. So it was fun, fun times.
But you made it back. You didn't get traveler's diarrhea. You didn't.
No, I got the exact opposite.
no.
I got traveler's constipation. It was very odd.
You didn't get pickpocketed, which is a big thing
No.
over there.
Yeah, they were warning us about that.
Oh, so you saw the Sistine Chapel, obviously.
Yeah.
You saw. See you.
He painted that when he was 23.
And you can't take pictures, right?
No, and they were watching for you too. I saw somebody with a phone and he got kicked out.
Why? Because they want you to buy the print.
Maybe, or they just don't. They want other people. It's a big tourism thing, so they want other people just to come. It's one thing. They have some
Or is
pictures
that it?
of it before you
Just
go
see
in.
it. They just want you to see it.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what it is the deal with the pictures. There was a couple places, yeah, they were like no pictures.
And I mean, I think I know the answer. Is it worth it?
What?
The line waiting for the Sistine Chapel.
Well,
because let's be
actually,
honest, that's the big one.
there was a lot of people in there, and it wasn't a long line. There was just a lot of people in the Vatican Museum that day.
Yeah.
And which they said wasn't near as bad as peak season, but I'm like, there's no way I could do it at peak season because we were asses and elbows, I thought, in there.
It's
But
Rome.
Apparently it gets
Everybody's
worse.
coming. It's Rome.
Yeah, right.
Not only for religious reasons, but just for tourist reasons.
Yeah.
You know, that's like it's like any normal tourist place. Add 2/3 to it because that's just the Catholics coming.
I'm not trying to be. I'm not going to be racist, but there was a lot of Asian folks that would take selfies in the churches, but like the 800 selfies to get the right pose of like I'm holding this painting, or this or that, or like let me stand this certain way, and I was like, really?
I think they're more so because I think we get labeled as it, but it's really not. They're the true global tourist. Japanese, Chinese,
I guess so.
Like
yeah.
they travel a lot.
Yeah.
I've never been outside this country. I bet you somebody in a normal circumstance from Japan or what has probably traveled globally way more than I have.
Oh yeah,
as an average.
Yeah, but
So
probably.
I think it's their thing. Like they want to go see.
Yeah.
And they treat it like I think it's more for them. Like they don't see it as a church. They see it as like I got to get the photo because.
Well, I mean, even if you're not religious, it's a historical place in history, and it's cool to see.
But getting the 800 shots is it's like
it was a little intense at times. But the Sistine Chapel was, I mean, it's cool. I mean, it's a painting on a ceiling. I mean, I don't know how
it's the scale mainly is the thing.
I mean, you look at it, how tall the ceiling is.
Yeah,
it's like he had to be on some kind of wood scaffolding, standing up or laying down or whatever with candlelight.
It's crazy.
And I mean. He painted that when he was 23.
I know.
And it was one of his first frescoes that he ever did.
What'd you do? You broke both your feet when you were 23.
Yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right. That's what I did. Broke both my feet at the same time. This is great.
I'll be racist. I hate the Spanish, and not the people from Mexico, the ones from Spain. They are the worst tourists I've ever met in my life.
Really?
They are the rudest, most.
Sounds like you have a story there. What happened?
Most entitled.
Please tell us.
It was at a Disney trip, and I guess just.
Of course, it was a Disney trip.
Well, that's not all the trips, but
Disney, you could go to Italy. I ain't lying.
Well, anyway, we were at Disney, and there were just several groups of Spanish, and it's very clear when it's Spain, not Mexico. They look a little different, and they speak with the lisp. Like it's very it's very easy to spot. And obviously, just if
a lot of people in this world speak Spanish.
No.
Stephen.
It's part of the dialect. Like if you've ever heard people from Spain talk, they're always from Lisbon. I mean, it's part of the dialect. It is. Rachel, chat. You agree or disagree? And anyway, like I was saying, it doesn't matter. If you were just to put them side by side and have them speak Spanish without the lisp, it would be very different. Somebody from Mexico and somebody from Spain.
I'm taking your word for it.
Yeah, it's very obvious.
Let's keep going.
It's very obvious.
Let's keep going.
And they would do. I mean, they were just the worst. Jump in front of you, big groups of them butting people out of the way because they've got the numbers. They always have, and they're like just as bad as us because they have the group T-shirt on.
Yeah.
Ciao, Mickey, or some bullshit like that. Definitely the worst behaved global tourist I've ever come in contact with.
Wow.
Like
Italians were some of the Italians were pretty bad.
Janes, that was Italian, so they're.
I thought they were French.
Were they French?
Yeah, the jeans people.
I think you're right.
Yeah.
But to be honest, I'm an American. I'll do it. I'll loop all those guys together. They all kind of have that same kind of attitude.
Yeah.
Like you got the British, then you got all the Central Europeans, then you got the Scandos, then you got you get down to the Mediterranean people down here. It does change a little bit.
Yeah.
And the Spanish just
there was three ladies. Now we're in I think it was San Giovanni Rotondo, something like that. There's a saint that's there that we went to go see, and Padre Pio. So you can
I know Padre Pio.
He's like part of him is uncorrupt. His face looks like the day he died.
Yeah,
it's kind of crazy. And there's a thing. You go down this thing, and it's like this big golden mosaic church area that he's behind some little glass or whatever. He's not usually there. Usually they move his body somewhere else or something like that. And everybody's in line. Like you walk in the door and you just get in line and you go through the little snake through the line. Yeah, it's you can't miss it. It's in a church. It's it's not the most reverent church. It's a little flashy for me. A lot of people liked it. It wasn't my cup of tea. But we're getting in line, walking up, and these three ladies just walk past the line, and they go up, and they were getting in front of our group. And kudos to our tour guide that was there. The lady that was she was the long haul. She spoke Italian, and she starts speaking Italian. She was just like, no, what are you doing? Like she just jumps up in the line, cuts. She was sitting down, and she's like, no, and she let our whole group go through, and she was just like pushing these three ladies back, and she's like, come on, like. You're gonna cut a church line.
I'm sure a lot of people use that excuse, like,
oh yeah. No, she whipped
out
the Italian quick on them, and they were like, oh. It was kind of funny.
I'd do it too.
Yeah,
I'd do it if you cut in front. Well, I don't know.
Well, they cut like 100 people.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
It was
like you could tell. Sometimes they're like they
badly
literally are trying
obvious.
to get to their group. They're like,
yeah.
It's like okay.
No, they were like in their own little group, three of them, and they were just like,
no, not today. Not today. Well, now you know.
I did
the
learn
parts you liked.
that if you are over there, most of the pickpockets are ladies. They're young women.
Pickpocket.
Or they use children to distract you while they pickpocket you.
Basically, just don't buy anything from anybody.
Yeah, pretty much. You just be aware of where you're at.
Yeah.
Like
don't be wearing a flashy watch. You had the special.
I bought it, but I'd used it a couple of days when I knew we'd be in some really heavy crowds.
Yeah.
And I don't want to pay attention to anything. I just put money in the credit card on a little money belt.
Yeah.
And but no other time I keep all my stuff in my front pocket anyway. And I just stuck my hand in my pocket. I'm like, in most places we went, I'm like, I have tight jeans, so it's like you're not getting in there easily without me knowing,
unless they're that damn good. And then I guess
I hear they are, because she was telling us too, the tour guide. She was like, they're pickpockets, and like they make good money, so they buy really nice clothes. They don't look like they need money. Yeah, they blend in very well with everyone else, and that's what she kept.
In the videos I've seen on Instagram, where the lady always calls them out, the girls, typically as girls, they look like typical traveling tourist girls. Like nothing.
And apparently, like pregnant women being pickpockets are a big thing because they can't prosecute a pregnant woman or something like that.
Huh.
Something Heather was telling me about that. I don't know if that's true or not. Maybe the interweb in our chat could fact check me.
I think it's just you now.
Yeah, it probably is.
I think she gave up on us.
Yeah, it's the way it goes.
That's okay. But still, sounds like a good trip. How long you were gone? 10 days?
Yeah, roughly. The 5th to the 15th.
You didn't miss much. You got a new president. Call of Duty's cool.
Is it cool?
Yeah,
you enjoyed it?
I'm really good at it.
Oh, damn it!
I didn't want to be.
Yeah,
I went in not wanting to be.
Kicking people's ass.
More so than normal. I'm up. I don't want to say.
You ran into my nephew.
No, about to say I don't think I'm. What's his name?
Sam.
I don't think I'm quite on Sam's level, but Sam, I could give Sam for a run for his money on this game.
Really?
Yeah, between 30
so what's
and 40,
so different about it?
I think it's the Omni movement.
The what?
So you have Omni. You want to end the stream? Or you want to talk about it on stream?
I don't care. It doesn't matter.
So we got Omni movement.
Just make
now.
it quick.
You can slide and dive in any direction. You can dive and slide backwards. So you can do like the movie thing where you dive onto your back and you can roll and aim, and it's like really quick. And but you can literally slide and dive. Like you can just be running and slide to tack slide to the right, and your body will just go. It's really handy.
Yeah, because you could probably miss getting killed
a lot.
A lot. But you're juking back and forth.
Core, how many hits? 8 to 10 to kill you.
I hate
so
that.
I can feel about 3, and I have just enough time to get around the corner and get away. I'm just like, whoa, but I can feel like,
yeah,
but it's not all. So it's like just enough. So yeah, I'm pretty good at this one. And I did not want to be. I was done. I was not even gonna buy that stupid game. It's dumb.
It's my fault.
Why would I do it? And then you said something, and I was like, I don't want to buy this game for $70. And it's like, well, if you just pay for Game Pass, which is $4 more than I pay already, you can just play it, cancel it any time. So fuck.
Do you get anything else with Game Pass?
All the games.
All the games, or
all
no
pretty
movies
much,
or anything like that?
Oh, I don't know, but I mean, it's all the games. You could play all those games that you never would ever buy. Starfield and all those $70 games that you're you wouldn't know it's enough to buy it.
And you just download it?
Just go play, yeah. Just go play it. Just download it and play it.
Oh, that's cool.
So yeah, I'm on there, and yeah, I didn't want it to happen. I'm honestly, I did not want it to happen, but it happened, and I was sitting there by myself. Great. You're in Europe. I'm by myself.
You're probably already on level 100.
Well, I'm 52, but yeah, I'm 51.
Oh my God.
And I was sitting there thinking, I was like, I think I could hang with Sam, because I was like 30 to 40 on average. I was like, I think I can hang with Sam. So you need to get on. I think.
All right.
I think you'll like it.
Yeah, I will.
I think you'll like it. But
I don't know if I'll make it tonight, but
you got it. So it's there.
Yeah.
And I ran into Bear one night. He was playing, and I played with him for a minute. So it was nice to get to catch up with him. But yeah,
that's funny.
Also trying to keep it at bay. I'm going to get on tonight, but that's because I don't have anything to do.
That's funny.
But yeah, speaking of which, we kind of got to that point.
Well, we didn't make it interesting or funny tonight.
Nope, and we had less viewers, but we're here and we're doing it weekly.
We're going to keep doing it until you show up.
That's right.
That's how we do it.
Oh, I got to talk to you about the drum festival while we pack up, so don't let me forget about that. All right, so that being said,
if you didn't enjoy it, just remember,
this podcast, it was free. All right, everybody, we will see y'all later.
Peace later.
This podcast is free. Sit back and relax. This podcast is free. I ain't paying for that. This podcast is free. It's Darren and Steven picking topics out of a hat.